Dun dun dun! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Today we're going to be covering something important because the FTX saga, unfortunately for many of us in the cryptocurrency market, is not over. Now, it's been a very damaging event thus far, and there may be further damage to come. So it's important that we keep an eye on this situation because we've just recently had some news that FTX has recovered over $5 billion in assets, bankruptcy attorney says. And they actually went on to mention that they've recovered $5 billion in liquid assets, meaning they can move and they're not sort of tied or staked or bonded or whatever it may be. And essentially, I got or received this article this morning saying huge crypto dump incoming as FTX plans to sell altcoins worth $4.6 billion. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen with FTX and whatever funds that they've managed to recuperate, whether they distribute them back to consumers, i.e. the customers of FTX that were stolen from, or whether, in bankruptcy, typically what happens is everything gets liquidated and then they pay out whoever's owed money and try and make people as whole as they possibly can with the liquidated assets. So I don't quite know what's going to take place. And why am I covering this? Well, you guys know that actually since the start of the year, we were grizzly bears last year, and we've said since the start of this year, we're not actually bearish or bullish on the crypto market. We're just more observers at this point and looking for the market to show us its hand, and we've done lots of speculating on lots of different things. Please follow my daily cryptocurrency market updates for that kind of a video. But this is going to be looking case specific at FTX and some of the news that we have. Reading this article is essentially speculating that there's going to be $5 billion worth of assets that are likely going to be liquidated. It goes on to talk about the individual assets. It mentions that Solana is one of the large holdings that they've recovered. Also, FTT. They mention Oxy, WBTC, which is Wrap Bitcoin, Bona, and other random Solana-based tokens. So it looks like a lot of the tokens that have been received are heavy Solana tokens. So that's certainly interesting. But let's just cover this breaking news story. This came out yesterday. Crypto exchange FTX has recovered more than $5 billion in different assets, not including another $425 million in crypto held by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas. A bankruptcy attorney said during a hearing on Wednesday. So it's Thursday today, guys, so this is hot off the press. There is still a sum missing in what is owed to customers, and the amount is still unclear. The attorney said, "We have located over $5 billion of cash, liquid cryptocurrencies, and liquid investment security measured at petition date value. It just does not ascribe any value to holdings of dozens of illiquid cryptocurrency tokens, where our holdings are so large relative to the total supply that our position cannot be sold without substantially affecting the market of the token," said Landis Rath and CARB attorney Adam Landis on FTX's behalf. So they're talking about there's lots of liquid tokens, but there's also dozens of illiquid tokens that they kind of don't want to have to dump. The announcement substantially raised the total FTX claims it holds after the company's new leadership said it could only find just over $1 billion on December. So this was shortly after the collapse. The total amount FTX owes its creditors is still unclear. At initial bankruptcy filing, the company management checked off the box indicating a figure between $1 and $10 billion. So essentially, they have recovered around about $5 billion of the fund. How they're going to proceed with these funds moving forwards is really the big question. This is an article that was written by Bitcoinist. Huge crypto dump incoming as FTX plans to sell altcoins worth $4.6 billion. So I'm not sure how accurate this is, But even, one reason we're not calling the bottom of the crypto market, even though potentially there are signs that the bear trend that we've been in is weakening, is because there's so many sort of traumatizing events that may come out of the woodworks, on a macroeconomic scale internally with the crypto space. We saw that with FTX, and actually during the time period where FTX dumped, other markets were rallying and moving to the upside. So we've got to be it's not plain sailing ahead, guys. We're not out of the woods yet in terms of the cryptocurrency market, and this is an event that may, or this is a situation that may prove to be an issue. So even though the FTX bankruptcy was 2 months ago, the issue is far from over from the crypto industry. Currently, new FTX CEO John Ray and his team are working to find as many liquid assets as possible to make up for customer losses. At Bitcoinist, a report yesterday, they have managed to recover $5 billion in liquid assets. We have allocated over $5 billion we have located over $5 billion of cash, liquid cryptocurrencies, and liquid investment securities. Andy said, this is on Wednesday, I've already read this. So it's speculating that a massive cryptocurrency dump is coming. What may have been even more noteworthy is the statement that FTX plans to dump non-strategic holdings with a book value of $4.6 billion, which could lead to tremendous sell pressure in the crypto market. While also stressing that the legal team is still working to create accurate internal records, which could mean that the sale will be pushed back a bit, and liquidators could also take a staggering approach to the process, or a staggered approach to the process. So this would be the best thing to happen. So this is not, just because they have this amount of assets, it's not decided that they're just going to dump onto the open market. And how they do it, whether another company like Binance comes along and acquires them and gives them whatever value they want, that would probably be the best thing. I could actually see that happening, is still to be told. The FTX lawyer also revealed that the recovered funds do not include the assets seized by the Bahamas, which estimated at only 170 million. So it was a lot more on this Coinbase article, but this, of course, was probably at time of when everything went wrong and when they actually initially seized it. So while the Bahamas Authority have put the value as high as 3.5 million, that's because the funds primarily consists of illiquid FTT tokens. So one of the big issues with FTX was, of course, a lot of the funds were in FTT. When that got smashed, they didn't have the sort of cash to cover whatever margin that they had borrowed, and we found out that they were extremely leveraged in terms of margin. So which altcoins could be hit the hardest? Coinbase director Connor Grogan has been looking through all the wallets to determine which altcoins FTX loans. The largest crypto position, according to Grogan, is Solana, Sol, of which FTT owned more than 700 million. To this, however, the Coinbase director notes that most of them are locked, so he's not sure why they might have counted them. This is followed by 575 million in FTT. Probably not worth that, and probably I don't know how that's stored. 371 million MAPS, 127 million OXY, 90 million wrapped Bitcoin, 82 million Bona, and around 500 million in other random Solana-based SPL tokens. My simple model is that the estate wants a win and good publicity to talk through all the progress they've made. Grogan claims and continued on to say that his opinion is the 5 billion figure is far too high for what could be sold on open market. So to put some clarity on all of this, first of all, that nobody said that they're going to dump. This article is potentially hinting at that, but it then goes on to say that actually the value is probably far less than $5 billion. So maybe this isn't as big an issue as people are initially making out to be. And actually, there's other things that are involved in this. And we'll go and read on, guys. I'll try and make this video about 10 minutes long and then I'll wrap it up. At the same time, Grogan acknowledged that the 4.6 billion is likely not just altcoins, but also Robinhood shares, other stocks, and real estate. So it's made up of many things. 400 million in Robinhood is a significant number that is probably fair value. The rest, hard to say, the Coinbase director said. Meanwhile, the on-chain analyst service, Luke On-Chain, has drawn attention to the Alameda Assets receiving wallet, which received 30 million USDC from Alarida Research a few hours ago. The wallet currently holds crypto worth 167 million, including 100 million bit, 40 million, so on and so forth. So to wrap this video up, the main message is that nobody knows if this is going to get dumped on the market. Out of these funds that they've received, the 5 billion, it's not sure just how much of that is actually in altcoins, what sort of altcoins. I think Solana's still got quite a bit to go down, by the way, guys, because of this. Solana's really been a casualty of FTX. There are real developers in Solana. You know, we've had our beefs with it, but listen, I don't wish harm on anybody, and I want everybody to succeed and do well and have a great life and all get on. But individuals like Sam Bankman-Fried and his criminal polyamorous cartel, you know, I have no respect for, and I think this is disgusting, and they've affected everybody involved in the crypto space, including me, even though I wasn't involved in FTX. So it's not really sure just how much sell pressure there's going to be on the crypto market. I would ignore the 5 billion figure. It's probably well overestimated, of course. A bankruptcy attorney may want to present this to the public for good publicity. Also, there's going to be stocks in there. There's going to be securities. It's not just all altcoins. And what altcoins there actually are is still to be seen. So we'll keep you up to date on this situation. For now, I think it's a bit of a non-event, but it may be something that crops up in the future. On that note, guys, I'm going to love and leave you. If you enjoy the content, like us, always appreciate it as a comment, and I'll see you all in the next YouTube video.